Hello everyone, you're welcome back to St. Farms. My name is Godsent as usual. For those of us that are having excessive mortality rates in our farm, especially with our kids, I want to share with you our practice here that helps us to reduce kids mortality to the barest minimum in our farm. The first thing I want to share with you guys is something that you need to do before you breed your doe. That's before you take your doe to the buck for mating, and I made a video on this. If you go through our playlist, you'll see the video where I shared things that you need to do before you take your doe to the buck for mating, and that has to do with cleansing her system, purging her system of every impurities, infection that might hinder conception of the doe, and also that might lead to poor immune system be transferred from the mother to the kids. In that video, you have to administer a solution of ginger, garlic and turmeric to the doe 3 days before you take her to the buck for meat. Secondly, is something that so many of us are familiar with, but we don't know the implication, and we don't know the implication of involving ourselves in such a practice. Inbreeding is a very, very bad practice in rabbit farming, because there are some traits, there are some bad traits that are recessive in the pool of gene in either the mom or the dad. But when you practice inbreeding, those traits, those bad traits, becomes very active in the offspring, which is in the kids. And some of those traits can range from physical deformities and temperament, poor growth, and so on. So you want to avoid inbreeding. Inbreeding is basically breeding the brother to the sister. You want to avoid such a breeding. Line breeding can also be utilized. It's not as bad as inbreeding. You can also involve in line breeding, that is breeding the dad to the daughter, or breeding the son to the mom. And that can only be done if there are certain traits that you find in either the dad or the mom that you really like and you want to transfer to the next generation of that lineage. The third one is going to be, in terms of breeding practice, is going to be crossbreeding, and that is the best type of breeding you want to involve in your farm. And that crossbreeding actually brings out the best in every kid from that lineage. That is breeding a buck and a doe that are from different lineages. They are nowhere related at all. That is crossbreeding, and it's the best breeding practice you want to involve yourself. The third point I want to note is going to be weaning your kids too early. That is separating the kids from the mom at a very early stage. The best time to wean your kids is usually between 6 weeks to 8 weeks of age. That is the best time you want to wean your kids, because weaning simply means they are transitioning from solely dependent on breast milk to solid food. So you want to make sure you transit in a very slow pace, because at age 3 weeks you notice that they are already taking feed. They're already feeding from the mom's bowl. If you feed the mom, you see them going in there to pick 1 or 2 formulated feed to eat also, and sometimes eating hay as well. So you want to transit gradually in that stage, because their digestive system at that moment is very fragile. You don't want to introduce them to solid food at a very tender age when their digestive system is still very tender, very fragile. The fourth one I want to talk about is going to be treating for coccidiosis. Yes, all kids are usually born with some degree of coccidiosis in their system, but as soon as they get older, the coccidiosis also tends to be more pronounced in the system, and especially when their immune system is not strong enough, which is what we call MDA, and that is maternally derived antibodies. That is antibodies that helps to protect the immune system of the rabbits, of the kids when they are small, and that is transferred from the mom's breast milk when they are born. That is transferred from the mom's breast milk to the kids at the early stage of birth. Those MDAs, those maternally derived antibodies, helps to take care of the health of the kids. Here in St. Farms, we wean at between 6 to 8 weeks, and at that period, as soon as we wean them, we give them a couple of weeks, then we introduce anticocci to them. We give them anticocci to take care of the degree of coccidiosis in their system, so it doesn't get to the point where it possibly kill them. Yes, coccidiosis can kill your kids. You also want to deworm your kids after weaning. And as to coccidiosis, there are certain drugs you can use to take care of your coccidiosis. You can get to your pet store, and there are a variety of cocci drugs that you can use to take care of coccidiosis. There are some herbs also you can also use to take care of coccidiosis also. So when you've done that, you also want to try as much as possible to deworm your rabbit. Let's say after treating for coccidiosis, you give them a week or two, then you deworm them and give them antibiotics. The organic dewormer, as most of us know, is the pawpaw leaf or the pawpaw seed. You can use that to deworm your rabbits. And then you have the bitter leaf, Vennonia amygdalina. You can use that to, it's the same thing. Vennonia amygdalina is also referred to as bitter leaf in my locality here, so I don't know how you call it in your area. So you can use that to take care of bacterial infections in your rabbits. So not taking away the fact that you need to keep a very, very clean hygiene in your farm. Good hygiene cannot be overemphasized in rabbit farming. Yes, no matter how much medication you give to your rabbits, if you're not keeping a very clean hygiene, they will be down and possibly die. Rabbits are very neat, clean animals. They do not do well in a very dirty environment. So when you're having a dirty environment, dirty hutch, you don't clean your hutches very well, you find out that your rabbit starts having different infections ranging from the mange infection, ear canker, lice, ticks. Those are skin infections you can find in rabbitry that as a result of a poor hygiene. Also some bacterial infections that can be endemic in them that could bring them down and possibly kill them. So you don't want to test their hygiene, you don't want to test their immune system with dirt. So you want to make sure you keep a very clean hygiene in your farm. Then also, let me just chip this in. We have a hot climate here in Nigeria. This is not just for the kids alone, to all your rabbits in your hutch. When you're building your cage, you want to try as much as possible to create cross ventilation. As you can see cross ventilation, so which either direction the wind is coming from, it's going to get to them. And the roof of your cage also plays a key role in creating a cool a cool environment for your rabbits, which is within their hutch. As we know, rabbits are highly resistant to cold compared to heat. If your hutch is not properly aerated, there's no cross ventilation, your rabbit might be at risk of heat stroke, especially the kids. So what you want to do when you're constructing your rabbit hutch, if you have a system like this, a wooden system, an outdoor system of cage that does not have a central roof, what you want to do is, as you can see between the roof and the hutch, inside the hutch, you see I arranged some planks. There are some planks that I used to insulate the heat that will be transferred from the roofing material to the inside the hutch as a result of heat radiation. So you just place, you can use carton, whichever material you can get. You can use carton, you can use these asbestos, these are woods, so either one you can use to create a barrier between the roof and inside the hutch, and this will insulate the heat that is radiated from the zinc, which is the roofing material, the roofing sheet, into the rabbit hutch. As you can see, there's a barrier in between. So this is how I tackle heat stroke in my farm, so my rabbits stay cool in their hutch and well ventilated. So these are some of the practices you can involve in your farm to reduce the risk of your kids' mortality in your farm. So see you in the next video as you grow your farm with Scent Farms. Don't forget to share, like this video, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Click the notification bell so you get notified each time we drop an interesting content such as this one, where you can learn and grow your farm with Scent Farms. See you in the next video. Peace out. Cheers.